When we talk about enterprise desktops or ThinkStations, only black boxes come to our mind. Black boxes which we usually want to hide. But Lenovo has changed it all. They partnered with Aston Martin, yes, the luxury speed car racing brand, and they have come up with this new P series of ThinkStations. And look at this design. Doesn't it remind you of the radiator grille of the Aston Martin? Well, it's not just about design. They've also integrated those technologies which you only see in cars from Aston Martin, like the airflow management. The cool air goes from here, the fans suck it in, and it is taken out from the back. So that kind of technology is there. But to talk more about that, we have two guests with us, Ajay and Huani. So let's go ahead and talk to them. Welcome to the show. I want to ask you first, you talked about design, and design on enterprise machine is like an oxymoron. You know, we've seen the dullest of machines, but somehow you managed to get Aston Martin on board, which is like dream car, dream company to, be associated with. How did that happen?
Absolutely. Happy to share. So luxury is always a motivator, right? We want to be known to be a luxury brand, a premium brand. And the brand equity also translates through our innovation and design. So Aston Martin is a customer of ours. And, we have been really on the workstation side looking to cultivate and get the feedback from our customers real time as they're using for their purpose-built applications. In one of their design elements, giving us feedback, coming to our customer councils, and, really becoming a true partner by giving us the necessary feedback to make critical design elements. One of the biggest areas that we saw a strong collaboration opportunity was in the aerodynamics. We have a patented cooling technology that's integrated into the P-Series ThinkStation. And what it does is it manages the airflow to cool the system from the front all the way to the back and individually cooling the components, specifically the CPUs. And so that design created an opportunity for Aston Martin to share their design elements and aerodynamic capabilities that drive the grille and the design to do the airflow management for their engines. So optimal performance in a very luxury car, optimal performance in a ThinkStation.
That's great. So what's with the speed for love or the need for speed with Lenovo? Motorsports, NASCAR, Ducati, now Aston Martin. So what is it? Like, how do you manage to get all these decisions right on point?
Yeah, so one of the really good things is that through innovation projects, these partnerships have now further developed. We've been talking about modifications to processes that they have, right? When you think about all the photography and all the data input that happens in a motorsports industry, there's definitely a lot of need for better inferencing and analytics. And so that created an opportunity for us. As we're launching our Edge, as we were really kind of focusing and investing on our Edge devices, it created an opportunity to work with these motorsports industries that were really having critical issues with data, photography, analytics, the ability to create innovative platforms that allow for communication to and from the track, for example, the pit box experience. There's a lot of intricacies that go into motorsports, and so this was a natural fit. A lot of future opportunity and innovation, really building a true ecosystem, and then creating partnerships that drive future innovation for our customers.
Great, thank you. So let's bring to the India story. How do you think this Aston Martin, the series that you're bringing, would kind of be received by Indian enterprises? Because, as I said, it's like kind of a machine that always is like not even visible for most of the people. It's under the table or it's behind the monitor. So what do you think? Would there be a need for this?
First of all, yes, there is a emerging need which is clearly visible. Because even Indian customers also, you pick up any vertical, you pick up, the manufacturing vertical, the way their requirements, demands are changing, the file size is becoming bigger, the complexities are becoming, much more stronger. The kind of design work which a manufacturing does, or even a freelancer, whether you talk about the large organizations, who's manufacturing cars or bikes, or there is a freelancer likely who is developing their own content. So on both sides, the complexity is becoming bigger. With the recent 5G launch in India, there are a lot of new use cases which are coming up where, customers are looking for more complex data transfer, more graphics, bigger file size, more complexity on the file size and the design work. So keeping all those areas in mind, most of the verticals, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, the media houses, all these companies are looking for, these kind of complexities to get solved with the help of a technology. And with the news launch of these P series workstation, we are pretty confident that this will definitely solve a lot of these complexity problems which these organizations are facing.
Oh, that's great. So P, I think, stands for power, performance, and other things that you have. But what is the India story in terms of your market share when you talk about, the enterprise segment?
So India stories are majorly on two areas. Apart from gaining market share is definitely one of the key elements for us.
Right.
But India's story is that, first of all, we are no more only a PC company. We are now becoming a service provider.
Yeah.
So last 1.5 years, we are doing two things in India. One is we have integrated our go-to-market so that, we should be able to leverage our pocket-to-cloud portfolio, because the portfolio is quite wide and we play an important role, in the overall customer's IT journey. So how can we position that portfolio to all our large enterprises as well as, small and medium enterprises customers, including freelancers? How can, we add value in the overall, IT infrastructure side of the customers? Second is the India story is that we are moving towards service-led transformation. So what does that mean for customers is, because currently customers, are facing that how can they focus on their core business. For example, if there's a banking industry, they should focus on how can they improve their customer experience. Currently, what they're doing is they are managing their IT infrastructure. So our story to them is actually that we are the subject matter experts. We know our devices as well as the overall industry devices much better. We are building up our capabilities so that we should be able to help our customers, starting from assessing their requirements, whether they are buying devices or they are buying the infrastructure for their data centers, or they are moving towards the cloud data centers. So in that scheme of things, we are building up our own capability. We are investing in that space by building up our own capability, by building up our capability for the channel partners, so that any one of us, when we are engaging with the customers, we should be able to provide the right solutions to the customers. We are also building up our capability. For example, we have our own, the services and solutions organizations based out of Bangalore, where we are building up our own SOC and NOC. So basically, SOC and NOCs are nothing but helping our customers to manage their network more effectively, helping our customers to manage the security element on devices as well as on the infrastructure side of the business. So that's the way, we are building up our India story, that how can we help our customers so that they give us the responsibility of managing their end devices as well as the infrastructure part, and let them focus on managing to improve their customer experience.
You also talked about a very interesting factor that you seed devices to consumer to test it before they buy it. That's a very interesting way to give it away. You let them experience it before they can make up their mind. So for the P series also, would it be given to customers to try it so that they know actually what has been different, what are the improvements, and then they can make their decisions, right? So how does that happen?
We are experiencing that the portfolio is bigger. Even the customer is also not able to take a decision, because there is a lot of product portfolio which is available, which helps solve a lot of these complexities for the end customer. But till the time they don't use in their specific requirement. For example, even if I create a demo zone in few cities, that's not going to help, because if I create a demo zone, customers will come and see the machine, but customer will not be able to experience the change that this machine can bring in their environment. So the focus area is, the try and buy. The focus area is seeding, meaning that we want to give more and more seeding units of this nature to our customers so that let them experience how these machines are going to add value in their environment. So once they experience, once they use it for 15 days, 1 month, 2 months, depending upon the complexities, they themselves will be able to experience and get convinced. So that we also want that whenever there's a new technology, customers should not take a wrong decision. So let them try and then buy these machines rather than buying first and then trying them.
Right.
That's the difference.
No, that's brilliant. Also, I want to understand, you mentioned the zero toolkit package that you get in the P series. How did you manage to achieve that? It's very tough because the kind of complexity is this? I saw when he was like unhooking it and showing you all the internals and how you manage the fan flow and everything, the airflow. But still, it's zero toolkit. How many years or how much of hard work did it take to achieve that?
So the toolless design actually started when we launched the first generation of the P series in 2014.
Wow. Okay.
So that was a complete chassis redesign on that product. We introduced the first concept of toolless because, again, we listened to our customers. And in this space, serviceability is key because downtime is very critical.
Yeah.
So you don't want your engineers to be down too many minutes or too many hours, for that example. So that toolless design, we can't give away too much of our secret, but it definitely continued to improve now, even in this new generation, additional more intricacies. And now with the dual redundant power supply, that's also toolless. So that design element is definitely key to what our engineers can do when they're working at their best.
Absolutely. Yeah. My last question to both of you is like, I also saw the DreamWorks partnership and Kung Fu Panda and all. I'm sure like a lot of people are using it. So what is your relationship or your partnership with DreamWorks?
Similar to Aston Martin, DreamWorks actually is also a Lenovo customer. Started with our infrastructure solutions group. So they had some projects that were designed to implement new server technology, and through that relationship, developed the workstation relationship. And so about 2 years ago, we started working with their design team, and they started implementing and designing new creative for the Bad Guys movie. That was the first movie that was actually designed on a Lenovo workstation. And then progressively, the relationship grew. We now have a very strong partnership with them, and they launched Puss in Boots. That was the other movie that was also designed and developed on a Lenovo ThinkStation.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, both of you. For taking out the time. Lovely talking to you both. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nice talking to you.